Most people say America is rich, but here's the real question no one asks. Does the United States actually have more liabilities than assets? If the answer is yes, what does that mean for your finances? Let's talk about it. I'm a certified public accountant and international tax strategist based in Dubai. And recently, I asked the founder of Emaar, the company who built the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, what's one financial decision that you have made which contributed to the success of your different businesses? What is one financial decision that you have made that contributed to the success of your different businesses? His answer: avoid borrowing if you can. And if you do borrow, borrow very little. That advice hits differently once you understand how the US system actually works. Does the US have more liabilities than assets? Short answer: yes. From a pure accounting standpoint, the US federal government has more liabilities than assets, which means it is operating with a negative net worth. Think about the US balance sheet for a second. 34 plus trillion in federal debt, massive unfunded obligations like Social Security and Medicare, assets like land, infrastructure, gold, and equipment that are far smaller than total obligations. Think about it. If this were a private company, it would never qualify for a loan. Now, this is important. The US can still function because it is not a household. It is not a business. It has sovereign taxing power. It has control over its currency. It has the ability to roll debt indefinitely. It has global reserve currency status. That allows the system to survive with a weak balance sheet. But survival does not equal strength. And this is where most people get confused. When people say America is wealthy, they're usually talking about households with real estate and retirement accounts, corporations with strong balance sheets with a positive net worth, private capital markets. But the government balance sheet tells a very different story. And here's the mistake most people make. They try to model their personal finances after a system that only works because it has infinite power. No. That's dangerous. Now hear me out. Debt isn't evil, but most people don't know how to manage it. What's marketed as leverage often turns into pressure, loss of flexibility, dependence on lenders, banks having influence where they don't belong. At the highest levels, debt is used sparingly, strategically, with strong cash flow and control, not as a growth crutch. That's the difference. This is why billionaire advice often sounds boring, because real wealth is protected before it's grown. The goal isn't to look rich, it's to stay free. And freedom comes from capital discipline, restraint, and control of your balance sheet. So yes, the US system is built on debt. That doesn't mean you should be. What works for a sovereign issuer with infinite time horizons does not work for entrepreneurs, families, or small businesses. The bottom line, the US government has more liabilities than assets, which creates long-term structural risk. It does not mean debt is automatically smart for individuals. If this helped you think differently about money, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because discipline and restraint outperform leverage for most people.